A very good afternoon to all our viewers from Body Mind Soul Live Talk number 89. I can't believe that it is nearly 2 years since we ever started this Body Mind Soul Live Talk back in year 2020. How is everyone doing in this beautiful sunshine afternoon in Kuala Lumpur? Let me know where you are tuning in, whether you are tuning in from Facebook or YouTube or any other places. You can always drop us a comment and send me out, shower me some love in this beautiful afternoon. I'm back to my regular spots where you can see the curtains and you can also feel how hot the weather is. Let's pray to the sky that in the middle of our live talk today that there will be sunshine all the way. All right, so share with me and let me know where you're tuning in from. And you can also do me a favor, SNL this particular live talk, meaning share and like this live talk. You can share it out via YouTube link or share it out on Facebook to more people, because we are going to talk about 3 common mistakes in marriages. And if you are someone who are currently looking into walking into a marriage, you might want to take this as a piece of reference or as an advice. Or if you are someone in the marriage and trying to sort things out, trying to find a solution, trying to figure out what is going on right now, welcome to join us. Or if you have say goodbye to marriage and now looking into a new relationship, you can also still tune in with us, because we are going to have Stacey Lee joining us later. And before that, I'd like to also take this opportunity to talk to you, everyone. Nothing is a coincidence. Yesterday, we have a TGIF Mind Circle with Mr. Chong and YK on live to talk about how to de-stress at work. And Chong mentioned, the top 10 things that stresses us out. The top 3 out of the top 10 are relationship related. All right. And surprisingly, when he was sharing it, I was listening to the live talk. He said the top 3, one of the top 3 is actually marriage. All right. So let us also listen to this and listen out and hear out what Stacey has to share. At the meantime, I wish to also invite everyone, if you have not heard about it, you can also read all Body Mind Soul articles, stories, and some of Stacey's articles that have published through Body Mind Soul magazine as well, all entirely free for everyone. We have just released our April volume, The Mystical Light, volume 32. We have lots of interesting articles inside it. All you can do is just sign up as a Body Mind Soul community. You can read our entire collection free for life. All right. And also, of course, all the upcoming magazines, you will be able to read it too. All right. It's all e-magazines. All right. So I'm going to do one thing. Let's, warm our palms together, and also to welcome Stacey Lee, founder of Elemension Wellness Academy, to go straight into the 3 common mistakes in marriages. Hi, Stacey. How are you?
Hi, Christina. Hi, Buddy Mindsoul viewer. Nice to have all of you here today. It's also very hot and sunny here, as you can see. I'm here
Where are
right
you,
here
Stacey?
in Penang. Yeah, I'm right now in Penang. Yeah,
I
looking in.
miss Penang. I miss Georgetown. I miss the food. I miss the weather. I miss the people over there. How have you been enjoying Georgetown so far?
It's very different, really. It's 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 as warm as KL, but less rain as well. Not
Mhm,
as rainy as KL, but
mhm.
the like food, people are warm here, so yeah, I'm having good time here.
It's a
Yeah.
nice, cozy island, for people who love mountains and beach. This Georgetown or Penang Island is really the place for all of us to go. And especially now the borders are open, we can travel a little bit lightly. Of course, still practice our SOP. But nonetheless, I'm so happy to have Stacey here. Unfortunately, we can't do a face-to-face because, as you know, like last week, we had a face-to-face together with Abby and because Stacey is now in Penang, so we are going back. We went back to our usual way of doing the live talk. So Stacey, a little bit of your background before we talk about the 3 common mistakes in marriages. As the maybe
Mhm.
you can share with our audience, what did you do? How long you've been doing what you do, and what is your passion on of helping people?
Yeah, for those who have not met me, I'm Stacey Lee. I have been trained to do family constellation for the past 6, 7 years. I don't even remember the years, but why I picked this topic to discuss today is because most of the people who come forward to seeking for therapy are because of
Mm-hmm,
relationship issue and mostly having challenges in their marriage. Yeah, some
mm-hmm,
some
mm-hmm.
some they choose to come with their husband together. Some they just come alone.
Mm,
Yeah, and that's why I feel drawn to talk about this topic today with body mind soul, because I think it's really important for people to know about the patterns that I found out from my work. Yeah, so I
Can
have
I?
been.
But
Yeah.
before we
Mhm.
go into you sharing a little bit more of the juicy stuff and also the tips how we can counter, right? Can I understand a little bit? When you say you have been a family constellation practitioner for more than 5 6 years, I think it's more than that. What does
Yeah.
family constellation do, and how can anyone like us benefit from seeking advice from a family constellation practitioner?
Yeah, family constellation was originated from Germany. It's
Mm-hmm,
originated by this founder. He's a psychologist. His name is Bert Hellinger. So in 1980s onwards, they developed this healing methodology and to help people to stop repeating patterns that runs in the family. And
mm-hmm,
not just limiting to that. Yeah, family constellation works to not just relationship, but can be money issue, uh, uh, um, family health issue. Yeah, all kinds of issues can also um, be taken a look into with constellation. Yeah. So oftentimes,
mm, mm,
what we are facing is it can be a pattern that runs in the family. For example, yeah, what's common is the parents divorce and children also facing challenges in their marriage and mostly divorce or separate. Mhm.
mm, mm,
That
mm.
was
So I
common
believe
and
you.
easy to spot.
And I believe family constellations heal a lot regarding relationship. It can be like what you say, relationship with family, relationship with spouse, relationship with money, relationship with self as well, right, Stacey?
Yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
remember the first time I know Stacey, and Stacey just put me into a game that has to do with family constellation. And back then, I don't even know what family constellation is. I only know there's a lot of icon in front of me, and she just asked me pick one that represent yourself, pick one that represents someone else, pick one that represents another one. And through that, I thought I was having fun and I was having a game with her. None Little did I know that she was observing my conversation and my sharing throughout the entire constellation, or that session, and that's where she
Mhm.
can share with me a little bit more of things that I might have overlooked. And I want to hear from all the audience, if you do you know what family constellation is all about, and if you do, what is your experience, and also are you excited to to join us and follow us through about these three common mistakes that we are going to talk about in marriages shortly. But first of all the audience are quite shy to say hello. Yeah, if you are too shy, you can just drop me a heart shape, so that I know that you are here to support us and having some fun together with all of us. Okay, you can put the comment into the comment box, yeah, and send it and hit it so that we can receive it, right? So Stacey,
Yes.
before we go in to talk about the common mistakes, right? I'm
Mhm.
very curious to understand a little bit more, like over the years, how did you, or I wouldn't say conclude, but you found out that common things that has happened, so maybe you can share a little bit with us.
Yeah, yeah. Often when customer come to me, I can already see a storyline that runs in a lot of marriages, and it become like a prototype, right? Got married and have kids, and then this relationship shaky, and then some
Mm-hmm,
have third party coming into the picture, some doesn't. Yeah, but
mm-hmm,
it is so clear that it then leads to divorce, and I just have a look on the percentage of people that divorce, and 50% of marriages in United States. Yeah, I couldn't find this information from Malaysia, but in United States, yeah, as high as 50% people do divorce after a certain year of marriage. Yeah, that is a high number, and we really need to have a look into our marriages and the health status of our relationship with our spouse.
Well, what are the common patterns that you have observed? Like I mean, I have to be honest. I'm still single, so I have not like you open up to different customers who are in marriage. But what was the patterns that you have observed so far?
The pattern is, like I said, the early stage of the marriage was okay when they do not have a kid, but the challenges starts to come in after the first child. Yeah, something has changed. The dynamic has changed. Yeah, it's just like in terms of numerology that I learned before. And number two is often a balanced number, but when it comes
Yeah, one
the
plus
third,
one.
yeah, it's duality or mirroring or balance, right? A lot of things that you can have. Even us, we stand with two legs. But when it comes the third thing, which is the child, and then the child become the new focus of this two person. Yeah. Therefore, it somehow changed the dynamic as well. And then the second child coming, then again the dynamic of this family would change. Yeah. So after this newborn child come into this marriage, something will be shaken up, and oftentimes when things happen, people start to blame each other, and then they will then step into divorce or into separation, because when it comes to stress, we either fight or we flight, right? So choosing divorce is a way that we run away from this challenge, the flight mode.
I guess also to make it clear to all the audience, we are not here to advise you whether you should or you should not, or whether what is right or wrong, but we are rather wish to, through this conversation that we are having, to give a different perspective, a different angle for everyone, whether you are in the situation or you are not. You have two sides of a story to weigh it in future, or to weigh it in currently, or whatever that you're going through. All right. So Stacey did mention, when we go into a marriage, or any new couple, definitely it's lovely-dovely for the first few years or few months, right? Things will start to change, or the dynamics start to change when there is a newborn in the family, and she used a rather interesting metaphor when it comes to numbers, and numbers to represent something. Stacey mentioned that 2 is very strong and very balanced. When it comes to 3, it's like it's an odd number, and there's a new leg to focus on, like new focus, right? So I guess it's good that, based on your observation, or based on the case studies that you have come across, like what you say, when a client came to you, you can recognize the storyline, that's this storyline, the common storyline, the pattern, right? And let us go into the very first mistakes, common mistakes that you have observed. Can we get the admin to also pull us out? So lost focus on spouse. So Stacey, what is the observation that you have observed so far with all the case studies that you have come across?
Yeah, it's just like when I'm talking with just Christina right now, I'm looking at her and she got all my focus and all my attention. Imagine in front of me, there's another person, a third party coming into this picture. I will not be able to focus two person at the same time. So that happened a lot of time in this newborn coming into this marriage, and they will have to pick someone to focus on. And often they will look at the baby, and which I don't mean looking at the baby is wrong, but that would be this main reason why we lost focus on our spouse, and then our spouse may feel not important, or feel rejected even. by by you changing your focus to another person, your spouse will feel something is missing, or maybe your spouse do that, you will also feel something is It's not right. Yeah. So that often happen when there's a new baby coming into the picture.
Is
But
it
what?
only sorry, go ahead, Stacey, sorry.
Yeah, but then it is not to say it is wrong, because newborn
Mm,
needs a lot of attention, right?
attention.
We
Yeah.
do understand that. But this kind of attention, a lot of parents throw onto the child, not for the first few months, not for the a couple of years, but for many years, their focus was only on the child, and that will put your spouse into like a zone where you have in all them for not months but years, and
Yeah,
this will not
it's a
be good.
saying in Mandarin. It's like putting a person into a refrigerator, like
Refrigerator.
frozen forever, that kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. I mean that's a
Yeah.
saying in Mandarin. Yeah, Mandarin we always say, 血长,
人工.
means you just
Oh,
put that
yeah.
person. And this was done very unconsciously, yeah, Stacey. I guess
Yes,
a
yes.
lot of, especially, I would say, oftentimes it happens to new mother, right?
First time mother.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
first
Yeah.
time mother, and it was done very unconsciously because first time mother, they have, I mean, of course, mother, they have their own cycle that they need to go through, the journey, the concerns, the worries of the newborn, and therefore this part was sort of neglected, not intentionally, but it's just very unconsciously, it just happened. And we are here to also, through this conversation, to sort of bring the awareness up. But Stacey, is it, we will in a partner relationship, in a spouse relationship, in a marriage, is it only because of kids the spouse will lose their focus on the other half, or there are other
Oh, there
things
are,
that will
yeah, many
happen?
other
Okay.
reasons as well, yeah, because when they have their kids already, then they will find that the commitment become higher, and now have to, yeah, get more money for the nanny, or the school. Yeah, so when commitments come higher, the father or the mother, sometimes they tend to focus even more at work. And yeah.
Especially now, both parents, the father and mother, some of the mom are also working mother as well.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
focus on the child, they then focus on their work instead. So the child may be also neglected, yeah, put into the nanny, and then they only focus on work because their intention is to get more money so that the child would have a good life, a good
Mm,
education. Yeah,
mm.
oftentimes this is what our parents think, and even us becoming a parent, we may think the same way as well.
True, true, true.
Yeah. So when we do that, this child or spouse will then not getting this enough attention out of us.
And I believe it's also because of this, then in a relationship, the communication is lesser and lesser because the focus tends to be either the
Spread.
work or
Yeah,
the child. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
So Stacey,
When
any tips that you can share with people or audience who are currently perhaps start to have the awareness, hey, maybe I've done something like that to my partner, and yeah, I tend to focus on my kid, or I tend to focus on my work, so what can we do to mend this relationship?
mm, so it all come back to balance, right? Yeah. Besides working, whenever time you have, you really have to make quality out of your time. The time that you have may not be a lot, but when you really
Mm.
focus on your partner, it, then when your partner or when your child get a full attention out of you, that become quality. It's not like when
so it's
I come
not the
home
qu-
from work,
so it's not the
quantity.
quantity
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
Not like when I come home, I talk to you as my spouse, and I'm still playing with my phone, reply messages or email at work. And then I'm not fully focused on you. The conversation may not be long, lengthy, but it
Yeah.
has to be 100% focused on each other.
Stacey, I want to hold you there. I want to hold you here a little bit. Oftentimes, I would say a lot of us, we did not understand, that consciousness, or that focus that we needed for our spouse or our children. What I have to be honest with you. What I observe, my friends who got married, and like what you say, they're going through the journey of having children, and of course, being their friends, we will hear stories a little bit here and there. They will share with us their side of the story. The wife will
Yeah.
share with me their side of the story. The husband will share with me their side of the stories, right?
Yeah.
So just now you mentioned something that is very important. It's about spending the quality time and not the quantity time. And you mentioned about something that is commonly happen in a lot of family, where talking to a person holding a phone,
Yes.
right? And I want you to elaborate a little bit more as a practitioner who have helped different couple in their challenging journey, right? Um, why so important that you stress this out
Mm.
about
Because
having the
I
conversation
really,
without the
yeah,
phone?
I really noticed this in a lot of people. Yeah, when I dine out, I just observe people around me. Most of the time, because they got a chance to sit down, the first thing they do is to lift up their phone and they start scrolling and focusing on their phone instead of the person right in front of them. And
Mm,
when they have a child, they just put the phone to the kids, right? So that the kids got entertained and so they can eat or they can, mingle with other people around them. So
mm,
I noticed that we cannot when you're on the phone, then you're not with this person. When we are in with this person, then you will not be able to focus reading or reply your messages. So that's our
mm,
attention, where the attention goes. And I
mm,
noticed a lot of time when as a child, right, as a child growing up, a lot of us tend to remember quality moments with our parents, one on one, not just as a family picture. They remember so well one-on-one session. For example, if you have a child, try to spend this quality time with just you and your daughter time, for example.
mm,
And if you have two, right, one day you
mm,
spend a couple of hours with just your daughter, another day you spend just a couple of hours with your son, and they tend to grow up remembering this pretty good.
mm, mm,
Yeah, but just if I were to ask you, what are the thing that you the good memories that you ever had with your father, are you will then
mm,
start to think about this private moment that you ever had with him,
I
and
believe
not as
so. I
a,
believe so.
yeah, not as a family
Yeah.
picture itself. Mm.
Yeah. Yeah,
So very very
that's why
important.
I feel it's important for you to highlight this, and speaking of which, that we should, the both parties, both parties, whether it's the man or the women, or any, the mother or the father, the both partners, I would say, that should spend time with each other and be a bit more conscious and aware of the quality time that they intend to spend with each other. But Stacey, here comes another situation which are very common in our current modern life, where,
Mm.
like, how we split it into two. So when a mother who is at work and also need to do the housework, and at the same time taking care of their children, I would say they are so overloaded with all the work that they have to do that they might not even have time for themselves. How could they squeeze that quality time out with their partners? Any
Mm.
advice that you can have? I'm sure they have a lot of working mom that comes to you to crying out
Yes.
loud for help as well, right?
Yeah. That I think, right, to understand each other's love language is so important, because you may have been with your husband for many years, but you may not understand what he think as love. You may think doing a lot of service for him, prepare his breakfast, do his laundry, this is love for him, but it may not be his love language. He may not take it as love. Maybe he just want to hear it, or maybe he just want to be touched.
Maybe
we,
he
we
just want
need
a
really
heart.
need to start. Yes, we really need to study about our partner, like what is his love language or what is her love language. Your wife, um, maybe you are just satisfying her by supplying her what she needs, in monetary wise. But maybe what
Mm,
she needs is a conversation with you, some quality time that you may not
mm.
know it is so important for her. So yeah, it's good to
And
find out each other's love language.
Yeah, and I like the way you put it. Oftentimes, we highlight about or we give tips to women because majority of Body Mind Soul crowd are female followers. I must admit that. But today, you are also giving advice to all the men out there. Sometimes it's not about just providing things physically or materially, but there are also some sort of a soft skills that is required. So it's important for the men out there, to all the husband out there, to also start, learning or have a discussion with your wife. What is the love language that they feel loved the most? It might not be a bouquet of
Yeah,
flowers, or it can be just a bouquet of flowers. Who knows? Right? Who knows?
yeah,
And that
maybe.
exactly, and that sparks so much of love and focus on each other just by that one action, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one action.
I have a brilliant tips here. Like, how do you find out their love language? Is by asking them, what is the most beautiful thing that I have ever do for you? When you ask this
Wow.
question, then they will then, oh, think about, oh, you have
Reflect.
done this to me. Actually, actually, maybe the last thing that they remember, it was something small that they don't even know they have done this for their partner, and their partner recognizes as a love language. So yeah,
Mm.
do this, talk to your partner and ask, what was the most beautiful thing that you think I've ever done for you?
I think this
That's
is
a
a very good question. What is the
mm,
most beautiful thing that I've ever done for you? And that's how we can study. And we have some comments over here. We have Joy sending lots of love. Pyung, 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 pyung,
oh,
pyung,
Joy,
back to
hi.
Joy. Hi, Joy. And oh, yes, no wonder. I'm not sure Joy is referring to which one, but I'm sure
Give
today
the tips.
Joy have received something. Hi, Wan Yin. Hello, Stacy and
Hi,
Christina.
hi, Onion.
And
Hi,
thank you
Joy.
for your heart shape, pyong 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 back. And this is Christina's signature. Yeah. So coming back to the first common mistakes that often a lot of us make in our marriages is lost focus on spouse. And I guess Stacey have gone through it with us in the most common way, how the spouse lost focus with each other. And the most important tips that Stacey have shared with us is to learn our own love language. And sometimes, Stacey, as us ourselves, we might not even know what is our love language.
So after you ask your partner this question, allow your partner to ask you back. No, maybe you should ask me
Oh.
back. Then you also make you think that what your partner has done for you that you think was the most beautiful thing ever. Yeah. And it can be very
That
small.
yeah. And I just think about, like what I've just shared, maybe a bouquet of flower. Maybe it's not a bouquet of flower. It's as simple as that. Sometimes we tend to overthink a lot. But certain things can be as simple as that, as long as the couple themselves have a true open heart communications, and that would be the best way. Yeah.
And
And
yeah,
Stacey, anything else that you wish to add on for as a
yeah.
tips for lost focus on spouse?
Yeah, I also want to highlight that different culture tend to have different love language, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
European, for example, or American, for example, they are more expressive. Their love language could be telling you how much they love you, and they may want to hear the back. And as for Asian, we are so different. We are trained. "No, don't tell me you love me. You just prove or show
You
me."
do action,
Yeah, you
action.
just action. And that's how our love language was, right? Ever since we were a child, our mother showered us with their love through their act of service, and
Food.
we tend to do this. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we're just cook us a nice food, and we take this as love language as well, and we wish our partner could do the same for us. And your partner needs to know this because we do have
Mm.
differences. Mm.
That's good. That's good. All right. So how about let us go into the next common mistakes, and we have talked about it. And now, after it's quite common, I would say, Stacey, when you put up all these common mistakes, like when we kind of like lost focus on our spouse, or we focus on something else, right? And that's where conflicts will starts to happen. And
Yes.
conflicts, I believe it starts to build up more and more. And you share with us that what you have observed through all your case study was when conflicts happen, many choose to divorce too soon. So what exactly you wish to share with us over here?
Yeah, yeah. When it is too painful, a lot of people would choose to cut off the pain. I don't want to feel the pain anymore. Let's move on. I don't want to see you anymore. and
Mm,
and 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 oftentimes after they make that decision, and many couples do regret on that decision.
mm,
Things, anger, anger, the words that bring a lot of angry words came up too soon. They
mm,
were all emotional when they make this decision. When we are in our emotion, it's not the best time to make important decision like this. And even
mm,
if the
mm,
word let's divorce, it is not something that we should put it by our mouth. Yeah, I think
mm.
it's really a big decision that you really need to think about it when you are more emotionally
Calmer.
stable, and
Mm,
calmer.
mm,
Yeah, when if you
mm,
need help, seek for a therapy or a therapist to help you to hear you out, or if not, some good positive friends. Not everybody could be your listener. Yeah,
mhm.
you have to know who to go to when you need help.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And
Yeah,
yes, Stacey, I want to ask you, right? I'm not sure if this is a myth or what, but based on your experience, if let's say I came from a family that my parents divorced, right? Will that somehow affect my marriage? And when things doesn't go the way as I expected it to be, I might actually choose to divorce as well. So based on your
yeah.
experience or your case studies that you have observed, well, is this a myth or this somehow or rather has a little connection there?
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. That like I said before, patterns do run in the family. Um,
Mm-hmm,
and if we see how our mother and father deal with this conflict, we tend to learn the same way. Like I said before, we learn their love language as well. So
mm,
we do learn this out from them. So you have,
mm,
if you are coming from a single parents family, you have to be extra careful when it comes to conflicts. How can you do it differently? Yeah,
mm,
you already have a different awareness, and how can you make it different? Not just
mm,
following our parents their way, right?
mm,
And
mm, mm,
oftentimes when a conflict or a huge incident happen, whether it's betrayal or 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 some other conflicts, right? We we our emotion comes up. We fear, our insecurity come up,
mm-hmm,
and we need to be aware of that emotion that it is triggered out by our partner, but we shouldn't blame on the partner fully, because it is the opportunity for us to really, oh, now that I am feeling this, be curious about your emotion. Why do I feel insecurity? When was the first time I felt insecure? Is this the
mm,
first time? Oftentimes it is not. It must come from somewhere before. Even this relationship, even
mm,
this marriage, it happened before. It is something familiar to you. So it is triggered out by your partner. If we were to choose move on, divorce, the same emotion, if it is not healed, it will then again come out and pop up through another partner until we really heal this wound. So often take this opportunity when things like this happen, we look inside, be curious about ourselves first, and ask, when was the last time it came up? Is this the first time? If it's not, work on your own wound first, and then when you tend to when you talk to your partner again, oftentimes it can be a miscommunication. It can be something out of your expectation. When you're healed, whatever you hear, whatever you see, tend to be different. Yeah, because our world, our outer world, is really a reflection of our inner world.
mm, mm, mm. And
Mm.
I like the way that you have put it. When conflicts happens, instead of choosing the fastest route to sort of thinking that it will stop the pain that we are feeling at this point of time, you are sharing with us, try to also be curious, have that curiosity of, hey, why did I feel this way? Hey, why did I react so big with that certain choice of words that come out from the mouth of my partner? If it's something that my colleagues say, will I react the same way? If it's something that my friends said to me, will I react the same way? And I think that is one of the way that it can help us to look inside. And if like what you said also, if there is a need to have a mediator or a therapist to involve, look for help before we make a big decision. And this decision should make in a way that you're advising. It's best to make in a calmer state, right? Instead of a very emotional state. And Stacey, I wish to ask you, right, based on your case or those who have came to you, I'm just curious. This is really curious, and this is not something that we have discussed in our
Yeah,
discussion.
yeah.
So usually when they have chose to divorce, right, they regret. What are the regrets that mostly, is it women that are mostly regretting, or men that is mostly regretting, or both are equally regretting? And what are the things that they regret most?
To some people, it's harder for them to let go. They keep thinking about how good my ex used to treat me, and now with this new boyfriend, he's different. He no longer provide or no longer do the same as my ex. And
Mm-hmm.
they will often think back how good the partner is, but then it was again too late because
Mm.
maybe the partner has already moved on, right?
Mm.
And I wouldn't confirm whether it's a male who regret or the female, but what my clients are mostly female as well. So
Okay.
yeah, yeah. From what I understand, they do when they are calmer, they do think back how grateful they used to
It
feel when they were with their ex.
I see. So it's
Mm.
it's always best that that we spend a little bit more time to understand ourselves first before we making any decision. And like what you say, this is a huge decision. I believe going into a marriage is one huge decision that a human make. Of course, coming out from a marriage as well, it is equally important and equally huge as well, right, Stacey?
Yes, yes, yes. It's really a huge decision, right? Some people who wish to have a child, for example, you may want to ask yourself before you step into a marriage, then you ask yourself if I want this person to be the father or the mother of my child. If your intention is to have a family together, that would be a nice
Mm.
question that you can ask yourself. Do you see this person as my child's father? Mm.
Mm.
And
Mm.
stepping in, yeah, to step out before we decide to really move on, or maybe you feel that your partner has already moved on. You really have a calm conversation when give some time off, bring yourself back, bring the focus back to yourself. When we are in anger emotion or other sense of emotion, we are not present. We are
Mm.
mostly in the past, some in the future,
Mm.
about fear. But in the past is like talking about the pain that I still feel. We are still living in the past. It has happened, and that we are not in
Mm.
present. But when are in fully present, yeah, you may practice meditation, or after healing, you can bring yourself back here now easier. So when
Mm.
we are in full present, then you can look at things with more clarity. Hmm. Is this, do I want to step out from this marriage? Would I have regrets? Yeah. And that it
Mm.
will lead us to our third point, right? Is
Yes, yes.
yeah,
Focus
okay.
too much on the
Too much on
mistakes.
our mistake. Yeah.
But
A lot
before
of
we
time
go
is
in deeper, sorry,
Mhm.
sorry, Stacey. Before we go in deeper, I also want to open the floor to audience. If you have any questions that you feel, that you wish to to ask Stacey, or if you have any situation or your friends that you're currently going through something like that and you wish, to have a little bit of clarity so that you can help out your friends, do type it out on the comment and ask Stacey right away, or continue to listen to this and also share out this live talk to your friends who are going through something similar that we have just mentioned or you feel resonate with. Okay, so now we go into the third common mistakes in marriages is focus too much on the mistakes. And Stacey, the floor is yours.
Yeah. This is really about not practicing gratitude when our partner may have done a lot of beautiful things to us in the past, but with one single mistake, it got enlarged. We tend to focus so much on this mistake that he or she made, and
Mm,
forgot about this other 100 beautiful things that this partner has ever done.
mm,
And why would this happen is because maybe we put all the weight on our partner. They call
what do you
like,
mean?
if I don't have, if I have only half cup of love, right? I give
Mm-hmm.
all my love to my partner. I invest everything on my partner. I feel sacrificing. And when my partner doesn't do the same, or my partner did something wrong that make me feel I'm not appreciated, then I feel, oh, my cup is already empty. And no, you shouldn't do that. You should give me back, or you should, fill up my cup again, because I have given you everything. You are not doing the same to me. I got really angry. And this often
Mm.
happens, right? When our partner did not do things the way we want. And that
Like
could
how
come
we
from,
expected.
yeah, and that could come from us not knowing how to love ourselves enough. Because if you only have half cup, you don't give everything out of you. You have to learn how to also bring focus on yourself. So that will be like how to not put too much weight on your partner. Then you wouldn't feel so much. You wouldn't have so much expectation out of your partner as well.
Mm, mm,
And in order to counter this, right, is really about practicing gratitude. Yeah. And that's the best time to talk is before sleep. Before sleep, it's good to do gratitude meditation, or even gratitude talk. If you are doing meditation yourself, you may think it's not enough. Involve your partner. How do you do that? Just talk to your partner before bedtime. I feel today, I feel so happy that you did this to me. And
I
when you practice this, he will do the same. Mm.
Stacey, when you
Yeah.
when you're talking about this, right? I'm going to pull out the comment later from Mikia.
Right.
Mikia, hold on with us, yeah. When you are saying, practice that gratitude talk, I have a couple friends who
Mm-hmm.
shared with me that the wife wanted to talk, but the man doesn't want to talk. So how in this situation, how can the wife initiate that gratitude talk at night?
Oh, she just keep doing it, and then man has maybe learned how he express himself. Maybe his expression is through touching her. So
Mm,
even for me, my love language may not be telling my partner, how much I love you every day. He may not be able to get it every day, but I told him once, every time I touch you, that means I love you. And he got it. Oh, okay, you touch me quite a lot. Oh, okay, I recognize that as your love language. You have to understand how your partner expressed himself. When he appreciate you, what how maybe it's through present, maybe it's through touch as well. I'm not sure. Yeah.
mm.
So
So
yeah.
to practice that gratitude talk every night, it goes back to the first tips that you actually shared with us. Learn and understand the love language first, right?
Yes.
Between
Yes.
the two of them, I mean, two of the partner, the dynamic, and that's how you will be able to spend that quality time to have that gratitude or the appreciation with each other, whether it's hugging each other at night, when the children are asleep, and you just have that few minutes, before you really doze off after a tiring day, right? So these kind of thing, because when you were sharing with me, instantly that couple pop up in my mind, because that was what was being shared to me. I wanted to talk. I want to share with him, but he said he's tired and he wanted to sleep. Which we understand, right? After a long day at work. So
Yes.
that is why I throw that question out to you, Stacey, and you reminded us again in the importance of understanding each other's love language and each other love patterns and how we shower love with each other. That is very, very important. Yeah. Stacey, I'm going to hold you here because Mikia has two questions over here for us. So we talked
Right.
about, focusing on mistakes, and now it's the other side. Previously we talked about us focusing mistake on our partner, but now Mikia is asking, how about if my partner focus on my mistake? What can she do? And number two, if my partner very dominant, he keep on want me sacrifice for him. For him, like love means sacrifice, so he want me to do the same like him. So what can she do as well? How can she
Okay.
overcome this?
Okay, go back to her first question. Very good question here, Mikia. The first question, what if my partner focus on me, my mistake? What I believe is law of attraction, right? Why would you attract a partner like this? It could be you may have done the same thing, like what he's doing on you before. Maybe not on this
Unconsciously.
person. It could
Maybe
be
it's
maybe with
unconsciously.
yeah, maybe with I used to, maybe right now this husband tell me this thing. Maybe I did this to another partner before. So what goes around comes around. I used to tell my ex-partner off before. Now I got this from my current partner, for example. So it's like what comes around goes around. So what Mikia can do is to counter what she has done before, is really to apply gratitude. Be grateful about your past partners, about our parents, about everybody who had ever given us anything, any service, any kind of love before. So do this gratitude more, and then you'll see a grateful partner. So what we give, we will also receive. Yeah,
The
and
dynamic
this is
might start to shift.
yeah, and it's quite instant often. So just focus on gratitude, especially on your past partners. Mm.
Mm. So,
Mm.
so Stacey is suggesting that we reflect in our past experience.
Yes, not
Have
going
we
to call
done
him or
something?
whatever.
Yeah, it's more like
But
a
more like,
personal. Yeah. I gotta make it clear,
thank you.
because we have
Thank you.
people that is very new to this, to
Practice.
reflection. People might
Yeah.
not aware. We have audience that are quite new as well. So it's more about having that reflection. To have a space, if you can, 10 minutes to just sort of reflect. Have I in any phases of my life or any journey of my life have done something like that I focus on that person? It might not be a love romance relationship. It can be with our parents as well. Like we
Mm.
focus on our parents' mistakes, or our siblings, our colleagues. It can be that way as well. So
Correct.
what you're suggesting is to reflect that, and if really that happened in my life before, and have that gratitude towards that particular situation, and start practicing even more gratitude prayers, or gratitude affirmations, or have that gratitude closure just by us closing our eyes, have that conversation in our heart with that person, unless we really feel the urge to give that call. If not,
Yeah.
have that conversation in our heart, right? So that is what Stacey is suggesting. So Mikia, do let us know, if you find this is something that is for you, that you can try it out. And let's go to the
Mm.
second one. If my partner very dominant, he keep on wanting me to sacrifice for him. I believe what she was saying is to sacrifice for him, and to him, yeah, love means sacrifice. So he want her to do the same thing like what he does. So, Stacey, what is your suggestion for this situation?
Yeah, what really stand out from Mikia's message is dominant and sacrificing, right? And sacrifice is she is feeling sacrificing in this relationship already. Yeah,
Oh,
that's why she used this word in her message here. So if you are
oh,
feeling sacrificing means like I said before, the cup will just half, and I have to give my partner everything. And
mm,
and it's good to learn to bring that focus back to ourselves, learn about self-love. If we don't love ourselves, people will not love us the same. If you don't give yourself priority, nobody will give you priority. If you are sacrificing, people will sacrifice you. So what
Stacey,
I mean
I'm
is,
just curious. Yeah, yeah.
mhm,
I mean, in this context of sacrificing context, right? You see, I assume, let me assume it, okay, in this way. I must put it in that context. I assume when a couple get married, oftentimes they really got married happily ever after, right? It was always started from there. You know, they fall in love,
yeah,
and they married happily after. Of course, along the way, and things happen. So how from a very lovely couple, right? This is not about Mikia, but I'm just asking out loud. From a
yeah, yeah,
very lovely couple, how this sacrifice comes into the picture in
okay,
the dynamic of this spouse
yeah,
relationship,
yeah,
and how
yeah,
about in family constellation context? You know,
yeah.
is there anything that you can share with our audience as well?
Yeah, yeah. When we are in a lovey-dovey state, right, or in the beginning state, we are equal in terms of relationship, giving and receiving. I'm talking about. If this is you, this is how your where your partner is. You're in an equal relationship. And when particular partner, tend to give more in a relationship, that become bigger, and the receiver often feels smaller. Yeah.
Mm,
So if this happen, who is feeling sacrificing is the giver, because they
mm,
tend to have a gap. So, what is the most powerful words that you can use, a way to balance this again? Yeah, for example, your partner is the one who bring back all the money for this house, right? You feel, well, I'm sacrificing. I do so much work. I got, I, 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 I take a lot of responsibility at work for this house. So, what you need to do is, how do we balance it? Quick and easiest way is to thank this person. Then again, gratitude. Thank this person eye to eye. I really thank you for buying this beautiful home, or bring us out for this beautiful dinner, and that just thank you itself can bring you back in balance.
mm,
And then when another partner, the wife, tend to feel sacrificing is when she's giving a lot as well. She's giving
mm,
her of her job, her body shape, because she had baby, a lot of sacrifice there as well, giving out her social life because of her baby. And then again, what is again missing here is each is feeling unequal. The man right now
balance.
in Mika's case is
Yeah.
like, I'm giving more, and she feel she sacrificed the same as well. But they never feel the same. Yeah, although maybe overall it was quite equal, but we from outside maybe we think it's equal, but for them they will feel I did more, because
Mm,
of lack of acknowledgement. The key is,
mm,
we just imagine your husband were to tell you, thank you for everything you have ever done to me. Or you were to tell your husband the same thing. And that will calm an angry person.
Speaking of which, I have a real case that I wish to share. Yeah, so I hope my
Okay.
parents don't mind, and I hope my parents are not watching this. So just to lighten up things a little bit, during MCO we are all confined at home, right? So of course, there are good times and there are bad times as well when everyone's confined and I'm staying together with my siblings as well as my parents in under one roof. And I remember there was one day that we had a family meeting. Right, we had a family meeting. My parents and three of us, me and my brothers. We were all sitting in the dining table, and we were just having family meeting. And when we call for a family meeting in my family, is we are about to talk about something serious. That's why we call for a family meeting. And yeah, so this is something very new to a lot of my friends. They were like, "Why would you call for a family meeting? Like, what's like?" I said, "Got AGM one, got agenda." We will have like pointers, like everyone will have
Right.
their own pointers that really open
Oh,
up our heart out to talk to each other. And I still remember, particularly that particular family meeting, my dad was sharing with us a lot about how he feels, especially during the MCO, what he have done, and along the way he mentioned one thing. And I remember, even as I speak now, I have goosebumps on my hand. So he was saying something, blah, 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 blah. And then along the way, he just popped up. And I truly appreciate all the things that your mom has done for us, for me, and for the
wow,
family.
wow, that's
Instantly, my
powerful.
mom was sitting next to me. Yeah, instantly, my mom was sitting next to me, and my mom was tearing. And it was
Yeah.
I know that tear was touched. It was a touching tear that my mom's effort is being acknowledged by the man that she loved,
Oh my
and
God.
also the father of her children,
Mm,
right? So when you say that, it just
mm,
straight away brought me to that scene. And yeah, it is so powerful because given a person like me who are not in a marriage, I might not be able to understand the conflict in a marriage. But as a child, uh, watching my parents say, my father say that to my mom, and they are in their old age, who is the age that don't truly express
didn't
their
express, yeah.
acknowledgement through
You already
words.
know I love you.
Yeah,
Don't have to
so
tell you.
so yeah, so I hope, with this real example that I'm sharing out there, I hope, this can help whoever that is listening, whether you are a child or you are the spouse yourself. This can be some sort of a spark of inspiration that you
Yeah.
can share it with your spouse or even with your parents who are in conflict at this point of time. And I hope, this can help Mikia. And do let us know, Mikia, if you need a little bit more tips from Stacey. Yeah, do drop in your comment at this point of time. And we have one more. We have one more comment, Stacey. One of my love languages is doing a service. Sometimes she smiled with it, and sometimes she said she can do herself. How can I let go the feeling of being rejected?
Mm, 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 mm. Okay, okay. It seems like she felt it's too receiving too much out from Joy. Yeah, from
Mm,
Joy shared this question, right?
mm,
So when the recipient, like I said before, the giving and receiving, when you tend to
mm,
give a lot, right? You are much bigger than your partner, and your partner may feel too small to be in this relationship.
mm.
So how to balance it is allow your partner to give so that you are in balance again. So how do you
So
allow your
it's like
partner to give?
suggesting joy to receive.
Correct. In a way, ask for something that you need. Hey, I want to go there for a cup of coffee. I think this new place, I always want to go there. I've never been there. Would you want to go with me? Allow your
Mm,
partner to be there for you, to bring you to this beautiful, or just be there for you. Yeah. Oh, I want to watch this movie for so long. Would you want to watch it with me? Allow yourself to receive. Ask to receive. Yeah. And
mm,
that can
mm.
easily balance this relationship. So every time you give and then you learn to receive, and it will make your partner feel better as well, feel more equal. And I actually have a bonus for everybody today. we shared
Yes.
three, but I suddenly have this instinct to share one more common mistake that most couple did is they did not grown up from their last family. Meaning our
So
original
sorry.
family, we have
Uh-huh.
not grown out from our original family. For
We
example,
have okay. We have not grown out.
yes, from our
Okay.
family. For
Okay.
example, I am the daughter of my parents. I have my responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I, as a daughter, and when I got married, when I'm in a new family setup, new relationship, and I got married, I have to be a wife for this person. But if
Mm.
I'm too busy with my parents, with my siblings' affair, I am not available in my new family. And oftentimes it happens to a
Mm.
lot of men when they are too busy doing their child responsibility for their parents, and they cannot be fully present for their wife and their kids, and that causes this in-law problem. A lot of wives
Ah.
complain, oh, I have mother-in-law issue, or even the other way, yeah, both way it happens. When they have in-law problem, it's because this person has not grown up fully from their original family. So always remember, last family comes first. Last family means you are currently now married, then your husband is your new family. If you have a child, this is your new family unit. You have to be fully focused and give more priority in this family. Although you are the,
Presence.
yeah, your priority always go to your last family. Because if you
Mm.
cannot do that, things will be complicated.
Coming from a different perspective, then, uh,
Right.
I was about to ask this question that
Right.
our admin just put it out. So, if let's say I'm in a position that I'm so used to be that person responsible for everything in my original family, and now I step into a new family and my focus is still my original family, and you are suggesting that always focus on the latest family unit, which is my new family unit. But what if I carried a lot of guilt because I'm no longer doing what I used to do for my original family? So if that's the situation, what is your suggestion for a person who are in this situation, Stacey?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This happened to a lot of people, and it happened in a lot of the cases that I manage as well. In when
I
they
believe
feel
it happened to, sorry, Stacey, I believe
agent,
it happened. Yeah, I believe it happened a lot, especially when it's the only child in that original family. You get what I
it
mean,
can be,
Stacey?
yeah, it can be only child, and it can sometimes it is not even the only child. It could be the youngest who is feeling full responsible for their parents
Mm,
because
mm,
this person is so capable. I
mm,
am financially sound. I can support my family, my sister, my brother needs my support. Even I have to
mm,
be so functional to them.
mm,
Then that that this person will not be able to fully involve in his or her new family because of this issue. So we have to really
mm,
learn how to find a balance at least, right? But the ideal direction is towards your new family. Yeah.
mm,
So if you do not know how, maybe you should seek for help. Come for a family constellation session. Yeah, and then we can go deeper because there must be a reason why we want to do this role. And that role
mm,
should be a father role, for example. It should be a mother role. Should be the eldest brother's role.
mm,
You as the youngest shouldn't be playing this role. So there must be
mm,
something is not right in this constellation at home. So
mm.
yeah.
Stacey, yeah, sorry, Stacey. But why? So speaking of which, you did mention that we need to understand the role and the constellation of our original family in order to let go that feeling of guilt, perhaps, right? Because now I have to focus on the new family. But Stacey, why is it that you emphasize that we should focus on the new family, and the original family will be the second priority, right?
Yeah.
Why did you emphasize on this?
Okay. Yeah. Maybe allow me to illustrate in a better picture by saying if it is a single parents family. It happens a lot in single parent family. For example,
Mm,
divorce and leaving the mom with this child, right? And when this child
mm,
got married, this child feels so responsible over this mom because since young she sacrificed a lot for him. She
mm,
sacrificed her whole world for him. Yeah, she did even
mm,
didn't marry, maybe didn't get remarried. So this
mm,
child having this responsibility involving in a new marriage, he will still place the mother as his top priority, even though he's
mm,
married.
mm,
No one can compete with my mom. My mom is often there. So what role is he playing actually for this person here, for the mother here? He is playing not just a son role, but also a replacement spouse, we call.
mm,
So
mhm,
he become the support, emotion support, a financial support, physical support, every kind of support to mother, because the father
mm,
was not available. So when
mm,
he do this in his new family setup, imagine if he has a child, but he's not present there. He's still busy playing his son role. His son will then experience the same pattern: no father figure or lack of
mm,
father figure. Then generation after generation, they will do the same thing. So what we need to do is to go back to your new place. If it is empty, let it empty. Somebody will play the role. Somebody need to play the role, but not you. You should go back to your rightful place. If you are the youngest,
mm,
play the youngest role. If you are just a child, play a child's role. Don't play a father role. Don't play a mother role. Because when you're busy playing that, you cannot be fully present for your new family. And that will affect your next
mm,
generation. Hmm.
mm, mm,
Is it
mm,
clearer
mm. So
with this illustration?
yes, yes.
Hmm.
With this way of sharing, I believe I also get it clearer because this is something that we did not discuss. Yeah, this
Yeah,
common
yeah.
mistakes. Yeah, so this is a bonus mistake. Beside the three common mistake, we have one extra bonus mistake that often we did not grow out of the original family, and I believe it's not just happen to single parent family or only child family. It can also be people who simply just can't let go of the responsibilities of his or her original family, and that is where the balance is not being able to reach when this particular person walk into a new family setting. And to all the audience, if you have any other questions, please feel free to drop in the last question, because we are going to take in one last question if there is any. If not, we are definitely going to end this live talk very, very soon. Stacey, based on the topic that we are talking, the three common mistakes in marriages, what would be your last takeaway or last shout out to all our audience here, whether they are watching it live, whether they will catch up the replay later? What is that last thing that you wish to share with all our audience?
I believe if we're to sum up everything, right, this whole talk today is really by practicing gratitude, not just with your current partner, but generally in your life. If you practice that a lot, you'll find yourself living happier every single day. Because where you
Mm,
focus on, expand, right? If you if
mm,
you thank when we do gratitude, we're focusing on the good things that has happened, whether it's that day itself, whether it's with a particular person. The more we focus on, the more we see.
mm.
And if you can do that every day, I can guarantee you your life will be smoother, happier. Yeah.
Stacey,
Because
when you share this,
yeah.
I have a question pop up. I have one last question, for the
Okay.
benefits of the audience. Stacey, sorry to
Mm-hmm.
interrupt.
Yeah.
When you're talking about practicing gratitude talk and how it can change or shift or even move the dynamic between us, our relationship with others, right? What if we are in a situation where we ourselves in that marriage, we ourselves already feel a lot of imbalance, and the only constant voice inside our head was, why should I? Why should I do this? Why should I be the
Why should
one
I
that initiate
change?
this? Yeah, why should I change? Go back to the number 3, focus on mistakes, right? Why should I? So, Stacey, how do we counter this when you have a client that comes to you and often share with you, why should I be the one? I'm not the one should be responsible. He or she, blah, 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 she or he, da, 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 then how can we lead from why should I to practice gratitude every night? Because it's such a big gap there.
Yeah. Because we often see we often blame outside, right? It's easier to look at
Mm,
others people's mistake, but not ours. And yeah, back to the inner world um, changes the outer world. How we feel can change how we see the world.
mm,
So if you cannot change what is outside of you, you can definitely change how you feel. And by practicing gratitude, you can already change how you feel. When we are grateful, how do you feel? Christina, let's do this. How do you feel when let's say you do a gratitude counting, right? You talk about your parents. I'm sure you are very grateful for them. Yeah, you look at your beautiful home and all this.
mm.
How do you feel? Just describe to me what are the emotions that pop up to you by just thinking of this.
Um, Happy, safe,
Mm.
blessed, love, a hint of joy as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
Touched, feeling
Yeah.
touched.
So you have love, right? You feel love.
Mm.
Definitely some sort of peace and happiness there.
Yes.
So if,
Yes.
by just practicing gratitude, you already bring yourself to this level, this positive emotions, and not just one, but many positive emotion. Imagine we can bring ourselves there every night before sleep, because this is the most important moment before sleep and once you get up. These are the two important moments that can change your subconscious. Yeah. So
Mm.
by practicing this really early in the morning or before sleep, it will definitely change your life because it changed how you feel, changing our vibration, and it
That
will
is
yeah, attraction will change as well.
Yes, and it just popped up just now. So thank you so much, Stacy. We have one over here comment. Stacy and Christina Tang, your conversation today truly opens my
Oh, thank
eyes and answer
you.
my
My
unanswered
joy.
question. I will practice your wisdom to my relationship and will share this wisdom to others. Thank you so much, Joy.
Thank you.
And yes, you know what? To all the audience, thank you so much for staying with us. And I know, this can be a very sensitive topic, or you might have a situation that you feel a little bit not comfortable to share over here, and you wish to connect with Stacy. You can also look at her up on her Instagram, Elemention, or you can write to us and we will connect you with Stacy as well. And anyway, if you need any help out there when it comes to relationship or marriages, you can always reach out to Body Mind Soul, and we will definitely connect you with the right person as well. If you want to talk to Stacy and you don't know how, let us know, and we will definitely connect you with Stacy. So, Stacy, thank you so much, and I did learn a lot, and I had fun talking with you and have this conversation. I believe this is something that the society truly needs to have a little bit more awareness, because oftentimes things were done, decisions were made unconsciously. It wasn't with our full awareness, it wasn't with our full consciousness. And I hope with our conversation today that we talk about the 3 common mistakes, and it became 4 common mistakes in marriages together with Stacy. It can enlighten your life and it will give you some positive values back into your relationship. Yeah. So Stacy, thank you very much. Anything else that you wish to shout out for the last one before we truly bid goodbye?
Yeah, so just learn to love yourself more and appreciate everybody and everything around you, and then that your life is gonna be beautiful. Mhm. And
Okay.
I thank Body
Yes.
Myself for this opportunity for me to share. And thank you for the audience who are watching us live today. And even though you're not watching it live, thank you for watching. Yeah, stay connect and find me at Elemention. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. And thank you, Stacey. And goodbye to everyone. Have a great weekend. And you know what? We will see you next week with more fun topics as well. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you, Stacey. Bye.
Thank you, Christina. Bye.